Start. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello Dragons, well, as I said in my community post, you mostly voted as yes and or had another option, so I decided just something say about me.
Mm-hmm.
So, where to start? Oh, hold on, I'm still recording, yeah. So, where to start? My past
It's
is
up to you.
my past is well tragic. As a child, my parents didn't had much times for play with me, where they were almost always busy, and other kids didn't want to play with me much because they thought I am some kind of autist. Yeah, like I was a very lonely.
Mm-hmm. Like, for me, I was just difficult. I could barely control my own emotions, but I've gotten better at it, though.
Mm. In the country I live is the Czech Republic, but it's not the best country I live because most people around me is toxic for no.
Total jerks.
Yeah, they are toxic for no reason.
Yeah. Uh, uh, and games are sort of a comfort area.
Mm, yeah. In the That is why I almost never almost I rarely leaving my house because it's too dangerous outside.
Yeah, it's rare for me to generally go out. The only times I ever go out is to let Gemma outside.
Mm.
Yeah, which she's mostly gotten better at not pooping in the house. Mostly.
I started believing in Jesus when my sister explained me how it's great live with God after she visited a Prague. She and I started to believe after start to discuss with my mother and moving to the church. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah, but I'm not, of course. I used to go to church, but then I stopped.
Really?
Yeah. Even then, not like I remember much of it, anyways. In fact, I can't even remember a single thing.
Yeah, but remember, if you want have a eternal life, then you should accept Jesus as your savior.
Well, the main thing is I don't have any beliefs. Maybe a separate thing. Maybe I'll tell you off the recording.
Hmm.
I'll tell you about why I don't have any beliefs after the recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most games I play is the MMORPGs, what is the online games with the many pairs.
Yeah.
But
And multiplayer games as well.
yeah, but there is not a main reason that I enjoy this genre. But the main reason is like because they didn't care about me very much in the real life. Then my only option is just log myself to the room and then chat with a random people in the games I played.
Mm-hmm. I do something similar. I rarely go outside, and I spend most of the day on my computer.
And that is also why I don't much enjoying playing the single player games because not like I got the story is
You're used to having someone to help.
yeah that also but it's boring to play alone.
Yeah, but most games are usually designed for single player in particular.
Like Tiber Hunter.
Survival horror games, excluding yeah, Turbo Hunter as well is a good example. But survival horror games, not counting Resident Evil 6,
Huh?
are usually best played single player.
Yeah.
Outlast is also another great example. I can provide so many examples, but I don't want to have the video drift off course.
My mouth is not moving for some reason.
I think it's because it's the avatar itself. But it's up to you if you want to change avatars. For me, it's self-explanatory.
War helps me grow to my children, and only person who cared about me is my cousin Smoky Man.
And eventually, we cross paths.
Yeah. But I want to thanks
Yeah,
for
so-
him that he helped me a lot. And he showed me very great games. I still playing that. Later, but later, I think it was a year ago. What to say? My language barrier again.
Yeah.
To my YouTube recommendation
Just-
come a Tribal Hunter video.
Made by me. Well, different one, probably gray.
Yeah, great.
Gray hair.
Gary Shot of Scare. I tried friend him into Discord, but for no reason he ignored me and then blocked me at the end. So it disappointed me.
Yeah, and then eventually, after being alone for who knows right now.
Yeah, I searched on YouTube Tribal Hunter most most viewed videos, and then I found yours.
Yep.
Mm,
Yep. When I first saw your compliment, I thought it was a bot, just how it was said, but the way it was.
huh?
Hold on. Stuff.
I thought
stuff.
I thought you disconnect.
I thought it was a bot,
Mm.
but the way it was said confused me. Bots normally don't say it in that manner. I know they always speak in caps, usually, but instead of removing it, I decided to take a look at your channel and saw that there was actual videos. Then I decided to reply, and I was mainly surprised to see you reply back in a similar manner. I was still confused, but after some time and chatting, well, we got to know each other more.
And now we are here.
Yep.
The main reason I posting in the comments in the caps is because
So- Because it's more eye-catching.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm.
when I investigated with you the war drama about Gero Shadowscare and
Involving grayscale.
yeah.
Yeah, like
And the video. like,
there is all.
Hmm?
Yeah. Like, it sucks that it happened, but the main thing that I kind of disagree with is the whole, dox them.
yeah.
Like,
I don't.
there's a time when it's a good idea to dox, and when not.
Like I know I know it's not intended. It's not intended why his behavior is like that. He must some kind of inner wound, and where
Yeah, he probably has, like, stuff going on in him that he can't really control that well.
he just wanted to have attention, like myself.
Yeah.
Like in my
Yeah,
opinion,
usually
like,
too much attention can affect people.
like
Oh.
I'm not not a hater. Some like of his videos is interesting to watch, like his content, but I don't want to be a toxic person. Like I feel sorry to him.
Yeah. Like, I don't have much else to say. Other than, like, if he somehow sees this, stop the weird cult shit.
Yeah, I don't think
That's, like, been referenced a lot.
I don't think he is a card reader. Just the toxic community just made him to the card.
Yeah. IRL stuff?
Mm, just checking something.
Alright.
What I wanted also to say. Like, I would like have another chance, like try talk more with him about that and help him. Simply just clean his name.
Yeah. Well, mostly, but I feel like after all the allegations and everything, I don't think he can have his name cleaned. I'm not sure.
Do you think it's too late?
Honestly, I just feel like it's a good idea just to let things pass and wait till, like, there's an update or something.
Mm.
I mean, it's sort of in this weird gray area for me in particular. Like, I'm against most of the stuff of the cult stuff is a good example, and the whole greediness.
Mm.
But the doc scene is a bit much. Like, I'm just bringing that up. Also, what is my right arm doing?
I don't know. Also, why I'm keeping a ground?
Yeah. Avatar shenanigans.
Yeah.
And you can always, like, switch if you want. And I'm just gonna stick with this avatar.
Ah. Like, it's the only Spyro model that
Mhm.
is most accurate.
Yeah, but it keeps clipping through the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I check if I'm alone
The-
in this room.
Yeah.
Well, the main reason I wanted a friend with a Gero Shadow Scale is talking about the
He's
talking about the infiltration stuff. Yeah, and
Mhm.
as you
and transformation changed.
mm, as you noticed, dragons, yeah, that is my fetish. Like,
It's also technically mine as well. I mean, I can just do this, but I usually acknowledge, like, if I'm going to show it to someone, I usually give, like, a notification, like, if they're fine with the weird stuff. So, yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, I'm just gonna go back down to default.
Well, compared of you, I don't want keep it into secret anymore. Like I already kept it into secret from everyone, like over 20 years.
Yeah.
And it all started. I don't know where it. I don't know from where it gets to you, but on my side, it's. I get that fetish like when I watched it as a kid, like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? Yeah, the blueberry inflation scene.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like that's a theme for like everyone that they acknowledge.
Mm.
It's like it's still relevant to this day.
Like I'm not much into blueberry stuff, but eh.
Yeah, me too.
Also, same case for the war.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna meh with it.
But what
I'm fine with most of the stuff, but
but what I very love is the NSFW inflation stuff.
of course I'm not with that.
Huh?
I don't do NSFW.
Like I'm glad that
Like at all.
I showed I could finally somewhat talk with about that and share the information with someone.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know neither.
Yeah.
But the main reason
There's
the main reason I doing this kind of video is I
just to
I,
vent stuff out.
yeah, feeling very lonely. Like my only friend.
Mhm.
When I count Smoky Man, because of course he is a family, that is an automatic thing. But only friend that have in my whole life is you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
Uh,
I vote like
uh,
more.
like we're both similar in different ways.
Like I want more friends like you are, but for no reason, your friends are toxic towards to me. Most of your
Well, not
friends.
all of them. Um. Yeah.
And
I don't know why, but I can faintly hear my voice like lagging behind.
I'm gyros to
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll just mute.
Hmm? And I'm very gyros to
I'm just gonna stay silent.
and I'm very gyros to Gero Shadow Scare that about his popularity and he having what to have many I would say followers or friends like what cares about him.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't at all.
I
Like sometimes you just gotta acknowledge it. Sometimes.
I keep trying that like
Yeah.
many years I trying that, but lately people just left me.
And I'm one of the few
Yeah.
people who are staying around.
Example, like on one of your friends like Star or Kabarticus, and
And I'm also the only person who understands you because I've spent the most time with you. Yeah. Because of how much time I've spent, I know you the most compared to literally every one of my other friends.
yeah, but well, they usually stay. They usually like standing with me like chatting and so on like 1 or 2 weeks and then they are radio silent. I said I speak.
Yeah, like a large majority of my friends are also radio silent.
Like same thing. I think I'm curious.
Yeah. Like some people I communicate to, and then they like just go offline. They don't say anything else. No matter how many times I DM them or call them, they just don't respond. And like I have a handful of people that are old users that just are no longer responding or are completely offline.
Yeah, but you have many friends like they, like one of your friends made an avatar for you. Another just made some character arts and took an event like they creating a game with including your characters and they even made for you a mode where you can play as your character Rocky. I really want to have
It's just a skin, and it doesn't have any differences.
I I won't have a real life.
Most of my friends, you can just. I know. You can always ask my friends. Most of my friends are in the server and are usually quite active. You can DM them if you want. Like, the person who made my skin, and you can probably just ask him, but it usually takes him a while. Depending on, like, a variety of factors. Time, when they're able to communicate, and depending on what's going on their side. Like, there are times where I'm just straight up unavailable, no matter what. And, meaning, I could be offline the whole day as a possibility. And those times are usually like one in a blue moon. And when it comes to most interactions with users, I usually have just a great response because I don't have a lot to say usually, occasionally. And when I do have stuff to say, it's usually very muted. Like, an example I can give, I can usually, like, chat a bit, and then I have nothing much else to say because I don't have anything really to communicate with.
Like,
But,
like one of the
mm,
how do you want me just chatting with one of your friends when they calling me that I'm a fucker or something like that?
I don't know. It's just they don't understand you, and plus they've also gone offline, and I haven't seen them online since. For I don't know how long. I haven't seen them right now. It's just that no one fully understands you that well, other than me and I guess Smoke in your family.
Y- Then you shouldn't then you shouldn't be as surprised that I'm relating to you so much.
Yeah. Like, if you ever want to, like, see more people, like, in VRC or just other games, you can usually ask them or just initiate a small conversation if possible. Like, most of the people who I'm friends with usually don't go to me directly or communicate with me. Like, all of my online friends right now are just doing their own thing. And they're either in a private serve world or doing something else entirely different.
And how I had
And,
how I should supposed to do that, like when I couldn't hold myself, don't be aware, and because because the invitations, the Fury invitation, like my
yeah.
most favorite topic to talk about.
Well, there's usually designated groups for a lot of those. Like, here in VRC is a great example.
Hmm?
If you go to my profile, you can see this little thing called groups. You should see this button called View All. This will allow you to view every single group that I'm in. And this doesn't work just for friends, it works for everyone, and even randoms. It's like, one random person that I just see, that I can just check all the groups that they're in, and there are just a bunch of them.
You don't.
And even if they may not be active in them,
You have you don't have even no more understanding from what I went through.
yeah, it's because I didn't go through the events.
And you don't know
Like,
how hard it's everything for me and against to me. Like
Yeah,
even when I take
everyone goes through
even when
their own
I,
events in their own life.
yeah, even when I take a break from
Like-
the social media and virtual reality, I can catch a break.
Yeah, just even if you try escaping to reality in this like whole fantasy world in your own various different ways, it's like always nearby. No matter how hard you try.
I barely,
Like,
Mhm.
my room is small.
I barely getting around into
Like,
with
right
my-
here's my closet.
Well,
Here, you can finish what you're saying.
Like I barely getting along. I barely getting along with my father. With my grandma, I don't want. I don't want to bother her with my ERR stuff. And with my mother, right? She sometimes she sometimes has something against me, and we end to arguing.
Hmm.
And my sister, my sister is my sister.
Like-
She toys with me.
Hmm. Like, my room is small. About the whole escaping to reality thing. My room is small, and it's a constant reminder. Even when I'm in VR, right here, like right behind me is my drawer, or here's my bed, a wall. Another wall. Like, my play space doesn't match it, but it's because I have my tower like right here.
Right?
And I can like walk around my entire room as I'm not connected to a cord or anything.
My cousin Smokey is only person who takes me seriously and trying to help me.
And me as well.
Yeah. Not to mention that into both elementary and high school, I try and get a friends, but they always bullied me.
Yeah. They all have their own problems, and many people don't know how to fully express themselves. Like, I myself am writing a story. Most of the stuff in the story usually acknowledges different things that that is currently going through the protagonist. The chapter, by the time that I'm writing this, by recording, the memories chapter, the protagonist is going through this like crystal area, and are faced with their emotions, and that they've felt up to this point. That being their chillness before, their fear, their energy, and their anger.
Right. Like from what
And all of these,
like from everything what happened in my past, I played the online games and seated on the computer like almost 24/7. I had no life because
Yeah. I also
because
don't do a lot,
because they didn't
but I spend a good time on games as well.
because people simply didn't care about me and I become an introvert. But
Yeah.
also
But of course, even if we're
bully
miles away from each other, I care about you.
I bullied out the emotions I had and had
Mhm.
my own personal world, dream world, il- live into illusion, and I was happy. But after I
Yeah.
accepted Jesus to my heart, then everything what I bullied went to surface. And of course, after I met you,
Mm. Yeah.
and
And even if we're like in our own dream world, our own thoughts, like what I am in right now, my own VR headset. That even though I look like I'm here directly, I'm still in my room in reality. Hold on. I gotta go take a shower, so yeah, I'll be back.
what is doing?
Okay, so my headset just went into sleep mode and disconnected me temporarily.
What?
I'm back. Sorry about that. It took me so long.
Welcome back.
You, yeah, had to go take a shower. I'm guessing you probably finished up on what you were saying.
I just also want to say, forgot to mention that the Garoshidowski video came to my recommendation, like his tribal hunter or infiltration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of it's been remedied by the addition of new people.
Like
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why when I.
I haven't
Eh?
I haven't commented his video, but next day,
It got covered up by everything else.
no, like next day he just respond. Everyone also reacted to everyone else to compliments, but main just skip it. So I opened his video into anonymous browser, and my compliment on his video was just not there for some reason.
Yeah. Like, sometimes whenever I leave a compliment, it doesn't get acknowledged as well.
Mm.
Like, I send a compliment on someone and it just doesn't get acknowledged. Like, occasionally there's the acknowledgement, but those usually are extremely rare and usually happen on older videos.
Mm.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
Like, I have so. Sorry if I'm like going off track for a brief moment. I have so many examples of like things I can give, like whenever I'm playing a game or just stuff that is relevant at times.
Okay, let's continue. Another topic is mhm, where after you when you taught me about yeah okay when you taught me how to role play and stuff. Friendly tips, dragons. Don't fall
Yeah.
in love to someone to role playing, or you will enter heartbroken as me.
And like no one really understands you more than me.
Like
I almost fell.
like when I met Fright in your Discord server, and we role play. She and like I fell into love to her when just I roleplay under Spyro, and she asked Baron Ramsey.
Loon say, Loon, Baloo,
Yeah,
I'll say, I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, I'm like just dropping
Like-
my voice temporarily. There we go.
like with chat like Erot, and she even flirted to me, and we even had a in SFW roleplay in the DM. Like she I loved her a lot.
Yeah.
But
Then stuff happened.
yeah, like lately she was very upset that he didn't had any art of of her OC, and just went in your server that just simply she decided to leave Discord.
No, they're actually still on Discord.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean before like she when she was very stressed.
Yeah.
I decided to draw myself a art for her of and her character, but she thanked me, but also
None of us had money.
yeah, she also mentioned
Yeah.
that it's not like like she wanted. So I decided to your friend was agree, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
No, whatever. I
Hmm.
I commissioned like persona. I commissioned art. I give to Fright. But like moderator, when she was radio silent and ignoring my DMs, like she changed it for no reason, and she promised me that once you visit me, then we will marry together. But she changed her mind that her religion did not allow like marry a Christian.
Yeah, I don't know why.
and she left me end to end, and I was very heartbroken.
Mhm.
Like I really didn't expect it. Like she she wrote an invitation and balloons like a lot, and I don't. I don't think if I find someone else has a same interest like her.
Well, you never know. And, well, yeah.
Great Turkey also promised me that he tried just make me a company and simply visit me, but at the back like 2 weeks later, or I don't know how many it was a days. He also changed his mind and said that he didn't he don't want at all, and it also
Yeah, I
it,
don't
it,
know why.
it,
Just,
it,
there's so much stuff that goes on in IRL on their side, which is why some of them have to change their mind.
but he is that but Gredargi is the person like who create found a persona for me.
Hmm. And eventually, as well, you've ended up having to communicate with new people as well, new friends and everything.
Mm. Like,
Yeah.
not many.
Yeah. Even if you don't have many, at least it's better than nothing.
Like, he created my persona is Nine Tire Fox, or it's Aka Kitsune,
Mm-hmm.
and I colored it total black green and named it Ace.
Actually, I helped with the coloring.
Yeah, you colored that. But what I also want is try and get a first side of my persona. The
Yeah, but
he created.
personas are usually extremely expensive.
Mm,
If some of them costing up to 200s, I think. I don't know.
what I was told it
Well, I
was.
haven't exactly done.
But I was told it's
Pricing.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Great Doggy even promised me that he make me one for free and brings it to me from simply to visit, and that stuff happened.
Hmm. There's always usually complications, which is probably why they had to change. Like, there's so much that can go on their side of things.
I don't know.
Things
Uh,
like, yeah,
I don't know. I'm already stopped believing in that and don't trusting in their promises.
yeah. Hmm.
Like I'm in the edge of the hope.
Like, I would have happily come over, but I don't travel at all. Rarely. You're too scared of it.
Yeah, I'm too scared to travel because not like I'm afraid that I simply just get lost into travel. Huh?
And plane travel is usually out of the question.
Mm-hmm. Travel alone also, yeah, and also I worry I won't be able to get back because my orientation sense is very poor.
Yeah.
So I stick it in my region.
Mm-hmm.
But what Great Turkey tried to find me as the alternative version is a random person who lives in the same county as me and even in the same region, like in the next city of mine.
Yeah.
And
But of course, this is a reality.
yeah, he had a prepared latex inflatable suit for me and himself. But
Mhm.
when he asked
Then-
me, but yeah, when he asked when I leave I respond, I live with my parents. Then he changed it. Then he also changed his mind and he broke at me.
Yeah. Which is a big jerk move. You know mine, and I know yours a bit. Yeah, and let's just even the IRL names out.
Like I already told my fetish to my mother and I revealed my sister. I revealed that to them after when I had a issue with me and the relationship with me and the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what was the election?
What?
That Jesus loves me even with the invitation.
Yeah. I'm gonna lay down, but that I have to move my headphones in.
Would be a very nice have just inflate ear air. Hmm? You there? What are you doing?
Why am I over here?
What are you doing? Wow.
Yeah, I'm physically laying down, by the way.
Saying that will be a very nice that you just inflate into real life.
Yeah, like before, it's reality. We can't do that.
Yeah, but we can do that into inflatable sites.
Yeah,
Like it was
which I know as well. If you ever do get VR, you'll definitely love these avatars a lot. Which, if I had to make a decision on what VR headset you should get, it should be like the Mia Quest 3, which is what I'm using.
don't have a VR headset some side effects from what I have.
What?
Don't have a VR headset some some side effects I had.
What do you mean by that?
Like some of the VR headset side effects is like temporary brightness, head cage, or vomit.
It usually only really happens if you spend a lot of time in VR and aren't used to it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I spent a ton of time in VR, and due to me having a pretty time handling being on games a lot, like I don't even wear glasses. I just, whenever I'm playing in VR, I'm just a casual person. And if you spend a lot of time in it, most of the stuff is usually mitigated, but the only real things that could really occur if you do play VR is that sometimes you lose track of time.
Like
Which, trust me, I have done before.
what I trying to say is I want to simply lying on my own belly and play games, or simply become a round giant ball.
Mm-hmm. Like, despite the fact I can just do this, it's just only happening in the game.
Mm.
time, and it can't really happen. The most you can get it to occur with is with a fursuit or a big gym ball, depending. It just kind of depends.
My dream is have a real life friend. I was also the infiltration as me, and we can just simply inflate together into suites.
Yeah. Like, I would happily come if I would want to, but it's that I don't travel at all.
Yeah,
And
most kind of people, what I noticed that has the same fetish as I have is they live in the USA, and I don't think there is a I don't think I found anyone, or if there ever exists in my country. So I very thinking about that, if simply emigrate to the USA or not, and leave everything behind here.
well, at least bring most what you can. Like, moving to where I'm at is always a decision. Like, sure, there's a lot of just complications, but most people have like switched locations or moved around the world and live in new locations. Like, I've used to live in a different part of the United States, but we've moved from there. Like, my old room, my very first bedroom was large, but I spent most of my time isolated in my room like I still do today. Old habits stick around, I guess, but a lot of things usually never really change. Like, I always thought of creating videos, longer bits, similar to other YouTubers, but I always had those, but I always usually overthink things occasionally sometimes, but sometimes I just don't. The cast of characters I have usually allow me to, like, less express myself. Like, most of the characters are to be expected, traditional characters, but most of my characters usually have their own meanings or reasons for existing. Like, The Stranger, I feel like, is, like, an excellent example. Just in terms of, like, the world that, on the internet. When you go on the internet, you are just a complete stranger to everyone else, and you don't know them either. Usually, most of the time, people, when you get to know them, like, a lot, like me to you and you to me, they are no longer considered as strangers. None of my friends, as an example, that I've communicated with know who I am, or I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
That's about what I can mostly say, involving, like, fantasy and digital stuff across the internet. Like, although I represent myself as this Impin and on YouTube, well, actually, no, it's a gremlin,
Well,
as a Dark Knight text creature wearing a hazmat suit, mana on Discord, Raiden on Roblox and Ori on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
They're all just things I like. Like they usually represent different things about me, even though they're all their own separate things that exist in their own worlds. Like occasionally in artwork, I utilize Ori as just a means of representing myself because I don't have my character there,
That is why
and not like I want to make a stick notes.
that is why I created a avatar of infiltration for, so simply I can be more close to you.
Yeah. Like, even though I utilize those characters to represent myself on artwork, games, and other things, they don't relate to me at all. They're just things I like. The Dark Latex Creature character that wears a hazmat suit doesn't even have a name. In fact, I just created the character on a whim, and plus, I like the hazmat suit. Like, the character itself has no lore, is just there to exist. So I can represent myself, and my headset's a little low.
So
Yeah.
dragons, I begging you, please try to help me at last.
Yeah.
If you-
I've been doing all I can. Yeah, well, I did say can, but my audio sounded weird.
I tried almost everything, like simply talk to your friends, find someone on outside, talk about that to my family, and so on and so on, and I don't know what to do right now. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Just venting everything out, really. When it comes to just you asking for help with others, not everyone has the ability to help out. Like, I've done all I could, as best as I could. And I've mainly helped out as much as I could. Hmm.
Mm. I was you said a happy energetic person. I don't I don't I don't know I don't know I don't know I don't understand what happened to me.
I don't know either. Like, one thing I will bring up is that I'm not seeking popularity. The videos that did get me all the views and the subscribers, did I want the popularity? No, I didn't.
I don't for
I
my
just make vids for fun.
I don't need to do my channel for the popularity. I simply upload the games I played in my past as the memory years. Example, good example is
Yeah.
good example is the Chimera Land. I played with you,
Yeah.
and it's no longer
The game now basically exists across states, but if there ever is a private server that I end up discovering, I will notify you about its existence. But as of right now, it's been quiet. Why though?
From this every
Oh, we've been recording for long enough.
Hmm? What did you ask?
Like, I don't know how long we've been recording for, and this thing is about to run out of battery.
1 hour?
Yeah, I think that should be enough.
Well, there is also some stuff I want to say.
Okay,
Like it's
you can go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug my headphones and headset in.
like, but are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can just continue lying down right here.
Like it's very hard to say that, but from everything what is happening to me and keeps happening to me,
Yeah. I'll also just share this if I can't hear anything. So if you see that little emote, that emoji, that means my audio died.
like from I don't know what it came to my head, but for some reason I simply just decide make a suicide, not once but twice.
Well, you should throw those away. Just, if you were to do those, it won't fix anything.
Like I'm tired. I'm tired of this everything like it's happening to me. I have enough,
I know, but
I have
it's,
enough to
we can't really, it's just what goes on.
and it's very
Like,
and it's very hard for me to just move along and forget about the past. Like I can do that. I can just simply forget the things. Example is
Yeah, yeah.
example is the example good example is the misunderstanding I had with you and me and your friend, where you instantly give a trust to that person and gives a moderate power, and then
Yeah,
We-
but I
then we
revoked
un-
it, and I'm not even in communications with them anymore.
yeah, we simply argue at each other because that person wanted a fight into casual roleplay and I not, and then that person simply went. Then something went wrong, and that person went to you, and you get rid, and you degraded my moderation in your Discord server, and then wipe for roleplay channel and I must admit I want simply
Well-
archive that.
Yeah. Like, you have the ability to forget them, and you're just choosing not to. No matter what goes on, you can always choose to forget those interactions. This tail keeps getting in my face.
From the last night when I got possessed by a demon and almost passed away. It's
It was just you having a panic attack.
it's too dangerous like sleeping alone at night.
Yeah. Why don't you eventually end up like communicating with, I don't know, your mother the person who trusts you the most in morale
I
to
already,
eventually just gather up with your stuff.
I already mentioned. I already
And-
mentioned that I can't stay very long with my mother because we always enter arguing each other. Like always, some kind of drama happens.
Like, your mom can just drive you here, and then she can just go back, and you can always message each other on Discord or some other platform.
Everything, she sees everything in the spiritual side. Like example, my hobby is dragons, like science for the childhood. But she in her Jesus eyes, she sees dragons as the symbol of the Satan.
Yeah, but dragons are usually depicted in a bajillion different manners.
That is
Some
what,
of them are seen as a good thing, like Spyro,
that is what I try to
Oh.
explain.
and
That is what I try to explain, but
yeah,
the drama happened.
yeah.
So only person I can trust is you.
Yeah. Hmm. I don't know if that's everything that you wanted to say.
Nothing. It's
I'll stay here.
I try very hard to hold myself and just not crying.
Yeah, but difficult.
Yeah. But I'm gonna check the topics. I it's everything very difficult to me. Like I want
Yeah.
I trust one person. I just with the same fetish I have and just doing the stuff or something
Mhm.
or something like I don't know if you dragons care about, but you can try find someone who make me the fury suit of my OC Fursona for a cheap price or for free.
Yeah. I could probably. I don't know really who to ask. I don't know any fursuit makers.
You asked the first maker?
Fursuit makers.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know any. I mean, the most I can do is ask my friend who made my skin upon Smasher and the Whale of Fix to make one for you,
like I would like
but I'm not really sure if he'll.
I would like have a inflatable ace for the VR, even for the VR chat it will. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any avatar makers though.
But mostly, but I
Like the
what what I desire is I wish I would like see you personally. But you can travel
Yeah.
and I'm scared to travel. And across the states it's the flight ticket is like $1,000, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned that I'm in the edge of on the hope and I don't think I can continue move forward.
I'm gonna go briefly AFK, so I'll be back.
Mhm.
Sorry about that small delay. Can you, I'm back.
Hello.
When... Why do these keep turning on? Hey, like, when I can, if you're still recording, I don't know if you are right now.
I still.
Yeah, if I can call my mom, me and my mom will talk about it. About me going to you directly.
You serious?
We don't know how long for exactly.
Are you serious about that?
Yeah. Yes, I am very serious. There is just a lot of things that are going to have to be left behind temporarily. Like, we don't know if we'll drive there, but considering it's cross states, probably better if we travel there. There through plane.
If you want, I can simply give you some reason and teach you how to speak a Czechish.
I can't. I'm fine with only one language. I may not be able to understand.
Yeah,
But-
but into Prague you can speak into English like no problem. But in my region like Petrov, Ostrava, Havířov, Karviná, Orava, there is not many.
Google Translate can.
There is not many persons like who speaks
Yeah.
English. Yes. Includes people from my church.
Yeah, I may not be able to understand your native language, but at least Google Translate can help with it.
When I forgot also to mention, like, when I asked to what, into paraphrase into Friends in my in my Christian church, and asked like what like inflation, then like can then look at then start look at
Most
me.
people get weirded out.
Yeah, they look at me confused.
Yeah. Like, although the people of the church don't really know this,
Even when I pastors one from the
explain.
yeah, even when pastor one came to visit our church from the Great Britain and one from the America, when I tried to ask when I ask from their help and if and about how I find a friend for like the inflation, then they respond like it will be better.
Confused.
Yeah, they were confused and just simply left. Just simply no. I'm sorry, I can help you. I can
Yeah.
I can try.
Yeah, instead of just like. Yeah. There are like plenty of designated servers for stuff. Like what 3 have. Like, I know a few, that's for sure. But not everyone will live in the same states as us. I'm just taking a look at.
Well, my only chance is
Coming to me, or me coming to you.
that also. But what I'm trying to say is, I trying to find the good word for that.
Mm-hmm.
When my last chance is infrared love. What is a brony? What is a brony? What's a person who likes My Little Pony characters?
Yeah, it's mainly their own thing.
Yeah, so he also mentioned that he tried his best to see me. But
Yeah.
if even this won't happen, then I give up.
Well, there's also me as well. I don't know when my mom will be back or when I can call her, but when she does get back or when I can call her, I will discuss about it.
Probably
I'll even include you as well.
probably we will do that from the off screen.
Well, I'll just talk to my mom by myself. And ooh, almost fell. When possible,
Like
we can discuss about it. If you want me to, I could, like, I don't know, bring you in a call just so we can both chat
and what,
directly on the tablet call.
and what if she says no?
I don't know. No, like, we don't travel very frequently. The only times I've ever traveled across states is to visit my dad who lives in Texas.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, even though we don't travel, well, very frequently, I do occasionally go to visit my dad.
mhm.
It's hard to explain.
I won't want to hug you, but
I feel like as well.
I won't want to hug you, but yeah, for first I can, and second I have 4 legs.
Yeah. I feel like as well, I feel like we mentioned everything we have. Do you wanna end off here?
There is a there is a 2 more topics we can I
Alright.
have to bring up. For hold on, I must open a Google Translator. For pay attribute or for chimeral and termination that and pay the respect of that game, then we both together me and
That was my bad.
then both
That was my bad. I didn't know they would make sound.
then both me and Fortina Gamers started a very big project is Chimera Trilogy.
Well, it's its own story. It isn't really appreciated with the actual game, at least what remains of it,
Where I wanted
but still references and acknowledges the game.
where I wanted to make the roleplay to the movie, but you decided to the game.
Yeah, it's mainly the fact that a lot has to be done when it comes to making a movie. And there's also the fact that licensing. There are licensed characters.
The first
It
game.
being a...
Hold on, I just mentioned that.
You're finished what you're saying?
The first game is a Chimera Invasion, was the roleplay is already finished, but the video is not yet uploaded. It's like over the half a year. I don't know why keep delaying that, because I'm the evil spirit of laziness keep controlling me,
Yeah.
and I'm lazy.
I mean,
and,
like, I've been
and I'm lazy.
pretty lazy on recording videos as well.
Mm. After,
Mainly for the fact that I just don't know what to record. Like, I see people record other games, I think about recording it, but decide not to. And mainly just stick with what I have, because have you seen the AAA market lately? Yeah.
the second Chimera.
Buggy, unfinished games,
Mm.
games, microtransaction-filled games, whatever the heck Call of Duty 3 is, and just generally bad games that are just getting released.
Where, but the second Chimera game is the Chimera and
Balloon Wars.
Balloon Wars, yeah, but V2 is about to start that.
Yeah, which a lot of this.
And and the third game
Yeah,
is
just gonna-
the Chimera and Last Stand.
Final Stand,
Oh, Final Stand.
which we haven't even done yet.
Yeah. And also there is some mini stories of the.
Stuff.
There is also mini stories of the example for post story of the Chimera invasion, there is a background of the background story of Princess Blossom, that is Princess Bee,
Mm-hmm.
and my personal story I wrote is a DLC game for the Tribal Hunter, that is a Food Island.
Which will definitely take a while. It's more of a fan-made thing. Maybe if I learn how to mod the game, I might make it. But considering how much stuff goes on, it's gonna take freaking forever to do.
Mhm. Also, and there is also one more story for post invasion, that is a bio, that the natural chaos variant, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Considering that I also wanted a story of Spyro and in the Skylanders, but when the Blossom story is based on the Skylanders, so yeah. But also I want,
Yeah.
but also I want Karai and the Ninja Turtles, what they are doing in the Earth. But probably I mixed that with the bio story.
Mm-hmm.
From post story of the Baron Wars will be Max, Erphilis, and Buddy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oop, I just sat on my tablet.
and from the post invasion, post the invasion will be some story of the Avatar inflation.
You mean Final Stand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, do you want do like a bonus game, like what is happening to the Chimera, like story of the Chimera after the final stand?
Well, I mainly just don't want to spoil anything associated with it.
Yeah.
But considering that I do have events that do occur afterwards,
Good point.
it is something of note.
So, but the Food Island is the story I personally wrote, is something like you wrote a Run of the Darkness, or how it is called.
A Land Free from Darkness. It's its own story. But for the Food Island stuff, that usually has other people who are helping out with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Where you, where to be
Yeah.
well, to be honest, you little modified the story, like, yeah, example, the random encounter with the assimilant, or what was the character name?
The Mysterious Assailant.
Yeah.
He mainly went on his own terms, essentially.
And have you won at the Food Island with the Time Master, like, I'm not up to you like very much. Like, we must find together some compromise.
Yeah.
Like example we did with the Ysera and Infinite Soul ending.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I guess you mentioned all that, or not yet?
Let me check the topics. Where you want to talk about your games?
Oh yeah, the games. My games. They usually will take a while, for one, I have no experience in coding a game at all. Meaning, I mainly will need to practice. Maybe if I get Unreal or Unity, I might make some, like, simple games that aren't too complex. Like, I might make just a first-person shooter.
I am a story writer, not a game developer.
Yeah.
But I
None of us have really.
what I what I would like is the Camera End was a closest thing I could get, like simply it was not a inflation, but you can very make a belly of the character like very big.
Yep. Which, although there is inflation, other actual inflation games, Smasher and Tribal Hunter are good examples.
Like I would like the inflation online game.
Yeah. I mean, making a multiplayer game definitely is going to have a lot of things that have to go in line, like the players, how people are going to sync up, handling lag,
The example the Roblox.
and also making anti-cheat.
The Roblox engine is good start, but when you the moderation, yeah.
Yeah, it's like very touchy. The moderation is inconsistent as fuck. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, there are legit NSFW games that shouldn't even be on here, by the way, that just exist, and yet Roblox has done nothing about it.
What about the NSFW?
Like,
What about the NSFW characters in the VR chat?
Oh, that's one with VR chat? Yeah, VR chat also doesn't do anything. I don't know who has worse moderation, Roblox or VR chat. Like, Roblox at least does something occasionally if you're loud enough with it. But VR chat devs, hold on, let me just, Okay, my headset's falling off because okay, what I was doing was that they just lay on their back and axe and do nothing about it. Like, an issue that is currently going on right now, at least from what I've heard, is people's avatars just getting ripped regardless, and even if you have them take it down, the avatar is still ripped and they have done nothing. Like, they added a completely useless easy anti-cheat that does completely nothing. Like, I kid you not. Like, there's a video I saw of two streamers getting stream sniped, but not traditionally, might I add. They had actual hacks get installed onto them, and they had to call off a tournament because of it. Like, what the fuck? You can't have issues like that in your game that are so obvious. Yeah. I can tell. You're probably laughing a little.
You just reminded me that there is a inflation stuff in the Starbound, but when I ask it in the Terraria, then everyone yelled at me.
Yeah, they were weirded out. Like, although there is a mod that technically exists, it only is a texture pack that only affects like 2 NPCs. It's not like an actual thing.
In the Terraria?
Like, for Starbound, I don't know why it exists. Maybe I think the reason why it can be done is that Starbound is a bit more complex than Terraria. Well, mostly. Insert the nameless deity right here. Like, when it comes to Traria and effectively VR chat, when people are given the right tools, they can make crazy projects and amazing things. Like, I mean, here, look at this Gears of War avatar that I have. I also am gonna stand up and rotate real quick.
Well, it even exists.
Loading, give it a few seconds.
It even exists for the Minecraft, but it's just cube.
Yeah, like if you're given the right skills and tools, like people can make some amazing things like this.
Cool.
In certain worlds, this gun works and can even kill players. They will respawn, but it is pretty cool that some people can do stuff like this. Ah, I grabbed the flamethrower. Where's that? Like, this gun can actually deal damage to people in certain worlds. It doesn't deal damage here. Like that, it does no damage. But if we were in a PvP world and I unload it into you, it can kill you.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 But the only reason... Oh, that's weird.
And I thought the VRC is something like the Second Life.
Yeah. Like, if people are given the right tools... Well, people can make, like, some crazy things. Like, there is technically inflation stuff for Second Life, but I haven't seen any interactions with it. That grenade landed right next to me, didn't it? Wait. Wait, am I visually holding the rifle on my screen, on your screen?
You hold a gun.
That's, like, VRChat can have some weird jank like that at times. But it's usually quite small.
Also, you are big.
Like, what I'm trying to essentially say is if you're given the right tools, people can make some crazy things. Like, that Raichu avatar is really impressive, but the person would do it because they have the right tools. If they didn't have the right tools, they wouldn't be able to do it, and they would probably make something similar to this.
I like Raichu, but what makes me upset is you can move as Raichu when you're inflated.
Well, if you're inflated too large.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even then your hands visually are locked in place. He said you can't really turn it off. I mean, the most you can get to be able to move around is this avatar, but this avatar is just a demo, and I have to ask one of my friends to make a public, to see if they're able to get the public version of this avatar. Which, if someone does make a public if there is like a public version, and I'm pretty sure you will probably utilize it more than the traditional Spyro avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm creeping to you.
Yeah,
What is the biggest site? Evan?
Oh. Hold on, let me... This is the biggest size. I don't know if it's actually larger than the Raichu. We probably could check. But, I don't know.
Do you want?
I can even hear you inside of me.
So it's in me, or it have a squishiness when it touch to your belly? Yeah, it does. What?
Yes, it does.
That's cool.
Though getting these is usually quite difficult. As you can see, it's actually split up into segments, meaning it doesn't affect the whole thing. Like, getting super accurate squish physics is crazy difficult.
I want to make a tapper of this character.
Yeah. But of course, I'll probably have to wait a bit before you can get a proper one until a public model comes out. Which, if I do, yeah. But I think I'm going to keep the restricted arm movement. Makes it more lifelike.
Let me check.
I guess we talked about everything so far.
Let me check. Like, I can show. I have registered like 3 tappers, like this one.
Yeah, it's loading right now. Gotta give it a moment. I
Yeah.
still can't see it because VR chat's being a little slow. Excuse me.
Oh, I almost fell.
Mm-hmm.
So let's compare. So probably will be larger.
Yeah, it's currently still loading right now.
It's still loading. What?
There we go, now it's not.
Huh?
Yeah. Of course, it could be larger. I think. I don't know.
No, I mean with your the balloon character, like you show that.
Oh, you mean the balloon dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me... Yeah, you could probably finish up with what you're saying on the whole thing, so we're not getting distracted.
Yeah, make the bigger side you can. Okay, so
Yeah, it's a lot bigger.
so let me switch. Hold on. I'm gonna. Where is the? So that is one topper I have. Then I'm gonna switch if I find. Where is? Is the right tool? It's right. Give me a second. What is happening with the right 2 character? I can find that.
What?
I can find the right 2 character.
Wait, you can't... Oh, that's weird. Oh, don't worry, I still have it. Gotta check. Just switching temporarily to mine. Was it...
I also can't find that.
Don't tell me it was nuked.
It was.
Okay, I don't know where it is. I don't know. Huh. Okay, we could probably check after the vid.
Or I can do that. Hold on. switch to your character and I gonna do this.
What?
Avatar.
This?
Where is my character? No. Where is the... There.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bit smaller.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, Raito is secondary tuber I have, but is green coloring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anyways, I'm gonna...
you can also Dragon Z. If you can try modify Raito for be a mobile character.
Yeah. I feel like it's just a small script that goes on inside of the avatar itself. If the script is removed, it makes it where you're able to move again. Anyways, I guess we'll finish up with what you have.
One more thing.
You have to say.
One more thing. Okay,
Alright.
check to your Baron character, and I gonna switch to this. I can't.
Loading.
Oh, I forgot I'm big.
Yeah.
Quick action. Hmm. I'm a bigger.
Hold on. My avatar is sitting for some weird reason. There we go.
I'm bigger, I think.
Yours is very bigger. Is much bigger.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first character I have. Malfa
Yep.
with coloring, black green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you can fill it up with water as like a fancy effect. It's experimental and therefore it's very unstable and somewhat unfinished.
hmm. You can try what is happening with the Raito character.
What?
You can ask what is happening with the Raito character.
I probably have to ask person who is responsible for porting it, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess we'll finish up now.
Hmm. The topic is everything, and I don't have anything in my mind. And you?
Me too, I don't have anything else to mention. Other than the fact that AAA games are dying, and that indie games are coming up now.
Hmm. Well, if you want, you can
Yeah,
describe your story, your reading, or your games if you want, before I end all.
yeah. I might as well just mention the story. The story is very long. It's its own story and is associated with its own thing. The story is called A Land Free from Darkness. It takes place in a custom land called Aria. I think I pronounced it correctly. The story essentially is the Lord of Darkness invading a land and that the spirits are hanging out in, like it's its own land, it's its own story. The Lord of Darkness was successful in taking over the land, and it is Man's goal, alongside others, to save the land and free it from his control, hence the name. You can see various references to both Ori games alongside other references here and there. I usually take notes and acknowledgements from other bits and pieces of media if you look closely enough. Yeah. But it's very long. That's about what I have to say.
I'm still very curious that the friends just simply a made game for you, like the Night at Baron Mansion.
Well, it's not really a game made for me. I wanted to make it for everyone.
The Baron Mansion?
And no, Night Shifts at Balloon Corp. Like, right now it's far from finished. Like, when we do get into a functional version, I will share it with you. And I will...
Where you will you will satisfy me if you implement one of my characters to that game.
Yeah, it'll probably be like an Easter egg, but considering that we're focusing on the main game right now, just the first 5 nights, down to the bonus nights, like night 6 and the custom night, maybe I'll ask one of my friends for that. Maybe we can implement one of your characters in as either an Easter egg or a custom night exclusive character, but I don't know. It just has to depend, really. We have to get far enough in development first.
Like, I would like a MMORPG game, that's the best, like, where infiltration is a thing. Because, example, when you inflate the blimp, like the spherical balloon, like, you know, then...
Yeah, but that's probably going to be a solo project. Everything that you're mentioning about other games.
Yeah, then you will have like access to more advanced tire magic. Like, you will be much more stronger the bigger you will get. That will be a very interesting.
Yeah.
I want to play.
Yep, but I'm probably going to do it on my own time. Yeah, I'm probably going to make that as just a solo project.
Yeah.
I also have this avatar as well, just wanted to show you it before we end off.
Ooh, can it be green?
You can even change its color as well.
Can it be green?
I think so, but yeah, it can, but usually you'll have to do a little bit of fidgeting. Yeah, you can,
Nice.
but it's usually its own unique shade. You mainly have to do a bit of tweaking on the coloring itself.
Okay, I think copy that. What is that?
Alright. Unfortunately, it does have sliders, but it can't get really big. Only a small size. Like, here, I can just show you.
It's your clone is disabled.
And VR chat bugged out again. Don't worry, I can just share with you the world, but we can maybe, yeah. Anyways,
You still have the
probably end off here for now.
You still have the Elfish character?
Yes. I'm probably gonna have to rejoin, but
Yeah.
VR chat's acting weird again.
Yeah, you can show if.
Yep, I actually can put it in 2 modes: a hand puppet and yeah. This is the hand puppet mode. It's on my right hand, but I can also go into normal, and I can move my arms around a little. Also, if you're wondering, my head is actually still right here.
Interesting.
Just wanting to bring that up.
At the boss version.
Yeah. That one's a full avatar. It's pretty small by default, but I increased the height.
Wow.
And yes, it has the true arena appearance and the halberd.
Neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, a lot of things are gonna have to get modified if we want it to be more accurate towards us.
Also, you never
But
explain. Also, you explain how you came with the name the Chaos variants when the Airfiris is not a Chaos at all.
Well, the reason I chose the names is to actually give them a bit more diversity, like to be more representative of their powers and some of their origins. Like some of the old lore that I had for Dark Chaos was referred to as Dark Nightmare, but this was cut. And now he's just referred to as Dark Chaos, us entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I can go on about old lore for some of my characters, but that will take way too long and should probably deserve its own vid. I feel like we've also been talking for a good while about unrelated stuff.
Well, it made me a little
Yeah.
bit. It made me a little bit better. Like, just simply talk with you about that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Gamer, will you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a mistake, but will you promise me that even when matter won't be a up for that, you will still try something like to see me.
Yeah, I'll still try and see you, even if we're still across states and only exist within games.
Mm-hmm. I will keep you in the words.
Yeah, even if we're...
I will keep you in the words.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just keep in mind, it may take a good long while before it comes around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, don't stay on it or think about it for too long, or...
The problem is.
But I can see.
The problem is I'm impatient. The problem is I'm a not patient person, and best I would like it will happen like tomorrow.
Well, there is travel time, stuff in IRL, and like the general knowing your location. Oh, I okay.
Yeah.
Testing. There we go.
Let's try not forget because.
So just remind.
What do you want to say?
Yeah, just even if I can't come to visit, or even just temporarily, just keep in mind, I will, whenever there is an opportunity, I will head to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I guess you'll probably end off the video now.
Well, hopefully you won't forget that because from what I know, you tend to forget the things you say.
My mind has a tendency to wander off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which causes me to forget things.
Anyways, Dragons, well, thanks
Yeah.
for listening to me, and please, I beg you, try to help me somewhat. I will
Yeah.
wait. I will wait for you into.
Bye.
I will wait for you into comments, and if I will have something into mind.
And Discord server.
If I will have something into mind or forget to say, then I will mention that also into comment and pin that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I guess you've ended it, turned off the recording.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
we will meet again at Spyro Gaming.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Whenever that may come around,
So see you
which
for now.
we don't know when.
So see you for now.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Just waving by.
yeah, you don't have anything to say like into mind.
Nope, I got nothing to say.
I think I'm in later. But
Yeah.
hopefully the right to character is what not wiped or private or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It will be. I will be very disappointed because it's it's
Yeah.
part of the Tapper, my Tapper character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot mention that after I upload this video, I also upload into community post the image of the Ace, my Frozona OC. What is also a character
Yep.
from the Kamen Rider Geats.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Geats Hemi, but it came from the Geats Gotchard cross movie. We shall watch that one day.
Yeah.
So
My neck hurts. Mm-hmm. What should we do now?
I think end it off. So bye.
I.
Your voice lagged.
Bye.
Also my Ace keep doing I barely seeing the
Yep.
monitor. Where is the button?
Mm-hmm. You can just press escape to move your mouse out, and then just move it out the window, the in-game window.
What you're doing?
Well, I'm waiting to drop a portal right now. If you've ended a recording. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's working the small for the spirits, so I can even.
Yeah.